This is Matthew Kratter's Bitcoin University. Today I want to talk about whether I just doxed $3 million worth of Bitcoin that I own. Comes from yesterday's video where I was talking about the new Bitcoin hardware wallet, the Blockstream Jade Plus, and I set it up and I was doing some transactions, and someone noticed the Bitcoin addresses which I was using, and I left them visible on purpose because I'm very careful about these things, and I knew that there was no doxing data there. But I want to show you what's actually going on here. I think you'll find it interesting. This is Trump YTV5H. I checked his Bitcoin address. He either owns $3 million worth of Bitcoin or he is using extreme Bitcoin mixers. I think the second one is true, haha. And then someone asked what mixer service is available, and I commented, very clever of you, we'll talk about this in tomorrow's video. So this is the part of the video where I'm generating a receive address on the Blockstream Jade Plus, which is this hardware wallet, and it's very visible here, the Bitcoin address. Anyone can look it up on a block explorer. So I'll show you that transaction where it was being sent from. So this is where it's being sent to. We can see it ends in S5SP. Let's just make sure that's right, S5SP. And this was the 20,000 sats that I sent over. I sent them over using the Aqua wallet. I had basically 50,000 sats sitting there in an address. This was the Aqua wallet address. And I'm always very careful the way I do this because I do know how much privacy you can leak online if you're not careful about these things. If you were just looking at these addresses, you'd have no idea who they belong to. But once I put them in a video and associate with them with myself, that's where you run into problems. So this is basically a transaction. On the left, here's the input, and it's going to the right. We can see that these add up to 50,000 sats. So we have 20,000 sats going to this S5SP address. That's the Blockstream Jade Plus address. This is actually a change address that's going back to me at the Aqua wallet. You wouldn't know that was true unless I had told you that, though you might be able to infer it, because if you add up these three numbers, 20,000 sats, 29,154 sats, and then 846 sats, you can see it adds up to the total 50,000, as all Bitcoin transactions need to add up in this way. So this was basically me yesterday sending from my Aqua wallet to the Blockstream, to an address controlled by the Blockstream Jade Plus. So that person was very clever. They went and looked up this address online, and they saw a previous transaction. If we look here, this is that same address here ending in PK, oh, I'm sorry, they actually looked up my Aqua address here. So they could see it was coming from, it ended up in this S5SP. They went and looked and they saw the input right here, Y6AH, and then they proceeded to look more on chain, and they could see that that address was receiving 50,000 sats. That's me right there in my Aqua wallet. And lots of transactions here. You can see they're fairly small transactions, maybe up to 1 million sats here, but most of them are 200,000 or 50,000, etc. So what I'm doing here, I will tell you the real secret here. There's obviously lots of small transactions here, and then what's probably a change address here, this 31. What I'm going to tell you right now is that this is actually Strike. And this is a trick you can use if you don't want to use CoinJoin or something, and you're making videos like this and you want to have some privacy. So Strike knows what I'm doing, but it does provide me privacy from you guys. So I'm using this online mobile wallet, and basically I send some money from my Strike account, which is a custodial account. You can't really see what's going on inside there. And so when I requested that money, those sats, and wanted them sent to my Aqua wallet, they sent a pretty chunky UTXO here, 31 Bitcoin. This is why that person thought that I had $3 million worth of Bitcoin that was mine sitting at this address. This is, I can tell you, hopefully not doxing Strike too much, this is one of Strike's addresses. And basically they distributed, they batched up all these transactions to make it more efficient and have a smaller imprint on chain, and perhaps even to save some on data. This is basically probably sending to lots of Strike customers. Here I am right here going to my Aqua wallet, and then this went back. You'll notice they completely emptied out the address, and this went back to a change address. Presumably this is controlled by strike as well. So fortunately, I did not leak any privacy in this video, but I thought you'd find it interesting to see how this chain analysis, chain surveillance works. This is one of the issues with Bitcoin. It is pseudonymous at the base layer. The solution here is not to use Monero or something like that, which keeps losing value against Bitcoin, but it's to understand how these things work. And another thing you should do, you should be careful using, this is Mempool.space, this is the public instance of this. If I believe they're good actors, but if I'm typing in Bitcoin addresses here and they can see my IP address, that could also dock some privacy. So be very careful. Do not put your Bitcoin addresses into a public block explorer like this. If you have Start9, if you have a Start9 server and run the Start9 operating system, you can actually run your own instance of Mempool.space, which is very convenient to do. And that way you're running it on your own server and you can look up Bitcoin addresses without doxing anything. So I'm going to end it right there. My voice is sort of going today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.